Hi and welcome back to my channel. As you can see, this video is what I would consider a ginger colored curly wig from Unice Hair, and yes, I am in love with the color and the curl and just the wig overall. This is a quick unboxing of the wig. So it comes in this Unice box, and I'm always excited to get boxes from Unice because it's always full of little goodies. So a brush, wig caps, and those wig caps are super thin, so they're almost transparent. You're gonna want to get some of those. Came with some lashes, a melt band, and some nails, press-ons. And then it came in that little organza bag, and I just think it's so cute that they pack extra goodies in there. And then the wig itself, so yes, on the website it's considered, they term it reddish brown. I think it's ginger. Do you think it's ginger? Maybe I think that's a ginger color, and I've been wanting to try ginger so bad because I feel like, look at it, like it'll just go really well with my complexion. So I'm very excited, and it comes with little baby hairs that, depending on your level of wig applying, you could cut that off and do your own baby hairs, or you might want to leave it there and style with that. I decided to leave it on. As you can see with Unice wigs, they usually come a little bit plucked in the front, and the knots don't need bleaching. You can always bleach it if you want to. I chose not to, and I chose to use a tinting mousse instead, as you'll see later on in the video. So it's completely up to you. If you're going to style it and do like a half up, half down, or even do like a couple of braids, you're definitely going to want to bleach it, because further down into the lace you can see just little tiny knots. But overall, if you're just going to style it and wear it, it's good. Here you can see that I am wearing the wig cap that came from Unice, and you see how nice and thin and transparent it is. So with their wig, it does also come with a band, so you can wear it glueless. And the minute I put this on my head, I completely forgot to adjust the band. So the big elastic band, as well as the little clips that clip onto like the back, the hooks that hook onto the back. So I stopped the video here and just picked up recording after I had tightened the bands, and as you can see, it fits pretty snug with it on. But I still did want to try gluing this one on, because I had some events I was going to attend, and so I just wanted it to stay for more than a couple of hours. And yeah, so this wig, like, I'm already so excited, like the color, oh, and the curls. It's a very beautiful wig. So everything else aside is beautiful. And then comes the application, the lace application. So I use the lace adhesive spray. Usually I use Got To Be, but I was like, let me just try with just the lace adhesive spray, because I wanted it to last just a couple of days, or just a day, but I also want to be able to take it off the next day. So I didn't want it super stuck to my head. And as you can see here, sorry guys, I'm human, I completely didn't bring out the items that I needed, so I was stretching to get it. But there's the lace adhesive spray, and I'm also trying something new. I had the cap sit just a little bit behind my hairline, and at this point someone tried to walk into the room while I was filming. But yes, I have the cap sitting a little bit further back behind my hairline, so that I don't have to do the full bald cap method and kind of just, you know, adhere the cap to my head, to my hairline, and then have to cut it. And because I'm not using actual lace glue that's like super adhesive, it shouldn't affect my hairline too much or at all. So I did a double layer of glue, or the adhesive spray, and then just placed the wig along the hairline. And as you can see, before I've even done anything else, it looks good. Obviously it needs some work, but it does look good. And again, I did not know where my comb was, so I was using the back of the edge control brush which I'd recommend not to do. And there's the comb. So again, I don't know what was going on with me that evening. I think at the same time, like the baby was in the room with my boyfriend. So I think I was also getting a little bit distracted. Just, it's weird when someone's watching you while you're filming. So yes, and then all you do is you just, use the comb to adhere, to literally press down on the lace to your hairline. Because it's a lace adhesive spray, I would still recommend using a comb, but you can also, I've seen people use their hands, their fingers. If you're using actual lace glue, then you're definitely going to want to use the comb, because you don't want to get that on your fingers. Number one, it's hard to get off, and number two, I don't think it's even healthy to get it on your fingers. And then you'll use a dryer if you have one nearby, just to help with adhering the spray. I was able to use my blow dryer this time because the baby was still awake. So you just want to use that just a little bit, just to activate the spray. And then you're going to use melt band to hold it down and allow it to dry. And once that's dry, here comes the fun part, cutting the lace. So to cut the lace, you're gonna want to do it in sections. So first cut the tabs over your ears. Now, if you're doing like a style that's gonna require the front of the hair to be up, you're gonna wanna cut the sides a little bit differently, or you actually wanna pay more attention to the sides because the sides will be showing. But if not, then you can just cut it completely off. And then after you're done cutting the sides, I like to cut down the middle, not all the way, but just to make like a little perforation down the middle, and then one on each side near the temples, just to make it easy for cutting more precisely, because I use scissors first and then I go after with a smaller blade. If you have smaller scissors, you can use scissors for everything. That's probably recommended for more control. And then once I finish that off camera, because I need to get up as close to the mirror as possible, I go back over with the blade and cut as closely to my hairline, or cut what I would essentially want to be the hairline on the lace. Okay, and this is how it looks when it's cut. And I went ahead and just sprayed some more of the adhesive spray on the sides, so just a little bit over my ears. And I'm going to tie it down again because the sides are the hardest to get to stay down, and tie that and wait for it to dry. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and use some tinting mousse to make the hairline look just a little bit more natural, to make it blend in. But before that, I'm going to use a wax stick to help straighten, so with a hot comb to help straighten the roots a little bit on the hairline, and that will help to make it look just a little bit more natural. And then I will also separate the baby hairs. So at this point, if you're a little bit more advanced, then you would take baby hairs from like the sides, from the actual hairline itself, and not the pre-made baby hairs. I'm still learning with the baby hairs. I'm not that great with it, so I left the ones that came with the wig. And just gonna go ahead with the hot comb, and you can see that hot comb was hot because there is steam, smoke, whatever you want to call, coming from it. And you don't want to do it too far down unless you are straightening a lot of it, because you're going to style it either in a half up, half down, or in two pigtails. But if you're just going to leave it as like a free part, you don't need to do it too much. You don't want to straighten it too much, just enough so that it kind of looks like it's growing from your scalp. And if you are using a tinting mousse, you're going to want to tie it down with a wax strip first and then your melt band, because you don't want to dye your melt band unless of course you don't mind, but if you do mind, then use a wax strip first. And after that is dry, you can just go ahead and style your baby hairs. I was considering leaving the curls as they are, but then I decided let me just add a little bit of mousse and see what kind of happens. The curls itself that came, like the wig came with the curls, weren't too bad, but I wanted to try out the mousse and see. So I went ahead and used the Shea Moisture Mousse and then used a diffuser after. I just used a little bit. If the hair does get frizzy in the future, which if you watch the end of this video, you'll see it didn't get frizzy, but as the days go on, some of the hair, especially in the front, starts to separate the more you kind of toss it around. So I will go through and actually use the mousse with a detangler just to really revive the curls. But if you decide to bleach the knots especially, you're going to want to go through with the mousse and the detangler just to bring the curls back to life. If not, then they're absolutely fine just the way they are. Some people even prefer more of the puffy look. You can always comb it out if you want it to be even more puffy looking. But I wanted to see the difference between the two. I wanted to see what it looked like with the curls that it came with and how it looked if I decided to add some mousse in it. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, I was sweating at this point. I don't know what was going on. I was hot. So I'm not gonna lie to you, right after this clip, I basically just stopped because I was like, I'm too hot, I can't continue. I'm just gonna have to do this the next day, and that is exactly what I did. So here I am the next day, ready to go again. And yes, I've washed my face. So, and I also don't have any glue on there. I wanted to try it as a glueless unit, just because that it is a glueless unit. And it can be worn that way. So I wanted to try it glueless first, and then when I was actually going out to an event, glue it, and that way I wouldn't have to worry about any accidents happening. So you can see that even as a glueless unit, it definitely works. The only thing is, and it could be just because I had tried to glue it the day before and some of the glue might have caused it to lift, but the sides were lifting. So if I'm going to wear it as a glueless unit, I'm going to have the sides of the hair covering the sides of my face. The front is perfectly fine. It would just be the sides. So just keep that in mind. And obviously, I got to do something about these baby hairs. So yeah, let's get to styling those. So I cut the baby hairs really short. Just want to have a little bit more of a semi-natural look to it, not anything too dramatic. So I also would not recommend using a flat iron this big to curl your baby hairs. Clearly, I need to invest in one of the smaller ones, but I'm not a baby hair person, but it looks like I'm getting to be one now, so I'm definitely have to invest in one of those. And then of course the edge control just to style the baby hairs. And as I started styling, I did realize that the way that I had the free part in the hair, and the way that I had the baby hairstyle, it didn't seem like it made sense like to look natural as a natural hairstyle. So I did switch it up a little bit after, as you'll see in the next clip. So as you can see, I just flipped the hair over to the other side, and I feel like it looks a little bit more natural this way. I actually went back after and tried to fix up the baby hair just a little bit more so it looked more natural, but I like it. And this was the final look I had for the glueless way of installing it. And I really love this side. Like, it looks very natural. It really looks, you know, like it's growing from my head. And the side, yeah, I got to keep that low and covered. And I think that this is great if I just need to pick up and just run out somewhere and I don't need it to be glued to my head. It looks good, it works.